Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lance, and I'm going to be looking at each class in depth for World of Warcraft Season of Discovery and answering a very simple question. Is it for you? And in today's video, we have the Hunter. We're going to be going over the strengths of the Hunter and what makes them great overall, the class's general features and gameplay style to see if it could be fun for you, the brand new spells and abilities coming in all three specs in Season of Discovery, rating the class after these spell additions in comparison with other classes, and finally, wrapping it up with a quick summary of the class overall. Hopefully by doing so, we can steer you in the right direction by selecting the class that truly speaks to you.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Comeback Kids are doing a giveaway for a free Rested XP leveling guide for your Season of Discovery journey. So make sure to subscribe and click the link in the description below to enter for a chance to win a free copy for yourself, or use our referral link to help support the channel today.
Starting things off with the strengths of the Hunter, they have great solo capabilities in the open world due to their pets being able to tank for them, good crowd control due to traps, shots, and pet CC, very strong kiting capabilities due to the mobility. You're easily one of the best leveling classes in the game if you know how to manage your pet so that you can constantly keep polling, and you have both melee and range playstyles. First on the list, we'll get you started with the chest rooms. Aspect of the Lion is going to be very impactful for hunters, more so on the horde side, being that this is going to be your Blessing of Kings. However, on top of giving the 10% stats that Blessing of Kings gives you automatically, you'll also get an additional 10% for yourself as well. This will guarantee that at least one hunter will be brought to every raid. Second chest rune for hunters is going to be Master Marksman. This is going to increase your critical strike chance by 5%, while also reducing the mana cost of all of your shot abilities by 25%. Now, the 5% crit is already strong on its own, but adding the 25% mana cost will make this insanely strong for leveling. The third chest rune is going to be pretty familiar for any hunter who's been playing retail since about the Legion era. This is going to be the Lone Wolf rune. This will increase your damage by 15% whenever you do not have an active pet. This could end up seeing a lot of play in certain builds, particularly the marksmanship builds. The final chest rune is going to be Cobra Strikes. This will make your critical hits with your shot abilities cause your pet's next special attacks to critically hit. This is going to be a little bit more niche, more specifically for those Beast Mastery type players, which will allow your pet to get off some meaty crits. First up for the glove runes for the Hunter, we have the Beast Mastery, named after the spec. This is going to give your pet's damage and health a 30% buff, while also giving its focus regeneration an 80% buff, and turns your pet's growl into an actual taunt. I could see this being very strong for leveling, with it making your pet tankier and able to hold aggro a little bit better. The second glove rune we have is going to be Chimera Shot. This is a lot like the Wrath version, which does 125% weapon damage and triggers different effects based on the current sting you have on the target. Overall, this is a great rune. I could see this getting a lot of play in both PvE and PvP situations. The third glove rune for the Hunter is going to be Explosive Shot, which will do exactly what it does in the Wrath of the Lich King. Now, this does share a cooldown with Arcane Shot in Season of Discovery, which means it will also share a cooldown with Aim Shot, which will be putting you an ability behind than if you were to just take Chimera Shot. Now, Explosive Shot is still a great ability, but without lock and load, I don't know how well it will be able to compete with Chimera Shot. The fourth and final glove rune is Carve, which is a melee cleave-like ability that will allow you to get some AoE damage if you're going to be playing that melee-style hunter. It's not a very interesting ability overall, but could certainly see some play in those melee builds. Finally, we got the leg runes, and starting off, we have Kill Command. Now, this is going to be the Wrath of the Lich King version of Kill Command, a lot like most of the other abilities. This is going to give your pet a 60% buff to its special attacks for 30 seconds. I could see this being very nice when paired with like Bestial Wrath and a Beast Mastery one-shot. Overall, that's probably about the only play we'll see. Second on the list of leg runes, we're going to have Sniper Training, which is going to give your shot abilities a 10% critical strike chance whenever you stand still for 6 seconds. Now, this recently took a nerf from 30% down to that 10%, which I think is fair. However, having to stand still for 6 seconds for 10% crit could be very good on some fights with maybe low mechanics, but any fight that has an abundance of mechanics, I could see this just being useless. Third on the list of leg runes, we're going to have Serpent Spread. This is going to make your multi-shot apply Serpent Sting to targets for 6 seconds. In theory, this sounds like a great ability. It's going to give you some extra AoE damage. However, it just turns out Serpent Sting in Classic WoW is just not that strong. I'm sure this will have some niche cases where you'll use it, but I don't know if it'll be used all that much. The fourth and final leg rune is very interesting, and that's going to be Flanking Strike. This is the rune that will allow you to actually play a melee hunter, and what it's going to do is make you and your pet deal a simultaneous 100% melee damage attack, and afterward, it's going to give you a buff that's going to make your Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike deal 10% more damage for 10 seconds, and that's going to stack up to 3 times, while also giving your Raptor Strike a 20% chance to reset the cooldown on Flanking Strike every time you use it. Without this rune, Melee Hunter is really just a meme. We'll see how this performs come Season of Discovery, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use. In PvE and Classic WoW, Hunters have been known to start really strong due to not really needing so much gear. However, the problem with them was always just how they scale. A lot of their abilities don't scale with agility, they scale with spell power for some strange reason, which made their damage just not scale the same way that maybe a warrior's would. However, I think with Season of Discovery, a lot of that seems to be changing with things like Chimera Shot or Explosive Shot, and I think we could see Hunters even scale or even surpass some of those classes that scaled a little bit harder than them in the past, and maybe they could become one of those big pumpers in the raid. In PvP and Classic, Hunters have always been pretty strong in the open world due to their ability to kite people and kind of dictate the terms of battle. I think with things like Chimera Shot due to the disarm, it's going to allow them to even further their capabilities in the open world, able to kind of dictate the battle in their terms. While also, I do think for like BGs, the amount of burst they're going to be able to put out with some of these new runes is going to be pretty nutty. And if you leave them alone and allow them to kind of just free cast on your team, you're probably going to be in a world of hurt. To wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, if you love to be a master of the wilds, able to pick targets off from afar and live out your dreams of being the next Legolas, then Hunter is for you. If you're on the Horde, you'll be in high demand due to the new aspect of the Lion, giving blessings a king buff to your party and raid. You're also able to keep targets locked down with great crowd control options due to your stings, intimidation, and traps. And you're able to solo level with ease due to having a pet and being ranged. Hunters have always been good at leveling, but in Season of Discovery, it's looking like they might be taking the next step and also being able to be very competitive in DPS. Now you know just about everything that we have been shown so far about the Hunter in World of Warcraft Season of Discovery. Now there's only one question left to answer. Is it for you? Let us know in the comment section down below. Keep an eye out for our other Is It For You videos for World of Warcraft Season of Discovery, and if you're interested, hit that subscribe button to join us on our journey throughout this exciting future that holds so many great things for the World of Warcraft. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and until the very end, my name's Lance from the Comeback Kids, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.